everybody, welcome to another two-dimensional kinematics video by Physics in the Flesh. This one's on vectors, example number 3. If Vx is equal to 8.60 units and Vy is equal to minus 4.70 units, determine the magnitude and direction of V. Okay, so V here is comprised of Vx and Vy, and we have to figure out what that is. This example is actually much simpler than the previous two, but let's use the knowledge we gained in those examples to answer this. Okay, so first thing I want to do, always in physics, you want to draw a picture, even if it's the most simple picture you can think of. Just draw it because it'll help you solve it. For these types of questions, we want to draw our Cartesian graph. Okay, so we can draw out our vectors. So we've got the y direction, we've got our x direction. In the previous questions, we were dealing with north, east, south, and west. Okay, those will be videos 30 and 31. Okay, so Vx is 8.60 units. That's going to be along the x direction. Vy is minus 4.70. That's in the y direction, in the negative direction. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw those in. Vx. So we've got Vx, which is 8.60 units. Vy is minus 4.70. Okay, so that's Vy minus 4.70 units. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now something you need to understand is that every vector has different components. Since we're dealing with a two-dimensional space here, every vector will have an x component and a y component. If we were dealing with three-dimensional space, each one would have an x, a y, and a z. Okay, so our vector v is going to be comprised of its x component and its y component. Okay, now these already are vectors. Okay, so you can put the arrows on top if you'd like. Sometimes they're drawn without arrows because the x already implies it's in the x direction. Okay, so Vx is 8.60 in the positive x direction. Vy is 4.70 in the negative y direction. So how do we add this? Well, we can't add it linearly because it's a vector, right? You cannot add it like a scalar. So we add this geometrically. So what we do is we say, okay, you know what? Up there, first vector is like this. That's our Vx, 8.60. And remember, when you add the second vector, you put the tail of the second vector to the tip of the first. This is going in the negative y direction, 4.70. So this is 4.70. I don't need to put a minus in front because the direction of the arrow already implies that it's going down. And remember, our resultant goes from the tail of the first vector to the tip of the second in that direction. So we're going to go ahead and draw that in. So this is our resultant. And actually, in this question, it's actually not called D, is it? It's called V. So let's go ahead and do that. This is V with the arrow on top. Okay. And our angle, as usual, is from the hypotenuse to the original vector, 8.60. So let's calculate this out. Let's find the magnitude first. So the magnitude of V, let's do that over here. So magnitude, again, you're using Pythagorean theorem. So V, absolute value of V, is going to be equal to the square root of 8.60 squared plus 4.70 squared. Okay, giving you the square root. When you solve that out, you're going to get 9.80 units. And just double check, it should be to 3 sig figs based on the data in our question. And sure enough, 9.80 is 3 sig figs. Okay, if you want to double check in the question, we've got 8.60, that's 3, minus 4.70, that is also 3. Okay, so we've got our magnitude, 9.80. Now we have to find our direction, and remember, direction you find using the theta and using tangent. So let's do that. Tan of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Opposite is 4.70. Adjacent is 8.60. Make sure you put those in the right order or you'll get the complementary angle. So therefore theta is equal to the inverse tangent of 0.5465 roughly, giving us theta into 3 sig figs 28.7 degrees. Okay, so we've got our angle, we've got our magnitude, and you know what, guys? That's actually it. That's your final answer. So, therefore, I'm going to just squeeze in the final answer right there since it's only one more line. Therefore, the vector v is equal to 9.80 units. Now, you have to express this angle accurately, right? The 28.7 degrees. You cannot just say 28.7 degrees. So in order to determine that, you look at the picture. Okay, so this is the picture we're looking at. This first arrow is going towards the positive x direction. This arrow is going towards the negative y. So the fact that this arrow, it's as if you started here and you're going down in this direction. So you're starting from the positive x-axis and you're going down below it by 28.7 degrees. Therefore, we're going to express our angle as such in square brackets. So 9.80, 28.7 degrees below the positive x-axis. Okay, so there it is. And that is your final answer. Yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give that like button a click and subscribe to Physics in the Flesh so you never miss a video from me. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.